Oh,
I know you are. Woohoo, baby. This is an exciting day, girlfriend.
hasn't really sunk in yet. So fresh.
Hey, everybody. I am so excited that you are joining us today. This is a segment that I always reserve for an interview with someone who I think is extraordinary. So it's called Beyond Ordinary. And what I love is to share with you the journeys, right? The journeys that individuals have taken to step into that leadership position, that top level leadership position that makes them truly an extraordinary example of leadership. And so today we have my dear friend, Victoria, there you are, Plekenpol. And let's just, Victoria, you have a big announcement. Go for it, girl.
Well, much thanks to you. Today, I hit the rank of presidential in my company, which is the top rank.
Woo! I mean, you gotta go for it, girl. So
like 10 minutes ago. So
yes.
But isn't it so fresh?
What I love it. So yes, this news is 10 minutes old, right? So people always say, well, I'd like to know someone who okay, we just did it, right?
Yes.
We were actually on our Monday morning mastermind call, and you jumped in and said, it just happened. It just happened, right? Which I love. And so to give everybody perspective, because not everyone knows, you are with doTERRA, and Presidential Diamond is the top level. You have hit the top level that your company, top rank that your company offers. And so let's talk about the journey, because I am all about, hey, let's kind of share the journey. So floor is yours.
It started about 18 months ago with a very teary phone call to you. and I can remember it so clearly because I was in China, and I was very stuck. I was just stuck. I'd been stuck at the same rank, and literally not just stuck at the same rank, but stuck at the same volume. Yep. Stuck at the number of enrollments that were coming each month. Like at that time I had 5 leaders. I was Blue Diamond, which is good. Blue Diamond's good, but I had gotten there really out of grit, which I also will say, I thought that was fine. Just like I had the grit, I can do this, I can push, but it got exhausting. Yeah. And then I got stuck and I wasn't moving at all. And I had like 3 different people bring you to my attention in the matter of 30 days. And I thought, maybe this is what I need. And I'm going to be very transparent here. It was kind of like, nothing else is working, I'll try this lady. If I had known, I would have never thought that. But that's where I was. I had tried everything in my physical power, really. Like I could think of nothing else I could try to move. And I didn't know what it was. And I remember calling you, and it was like 4 a.m, and I was crying. And then I connected with you to be my personal coach. And I can remember thinking, this is kind of crazy. This is kind of weird. This is kind of out of my comfort zone. I'm a very, my number one strength is responsibility. So I very much can just do things myself, and I can just make things, and I couldn't do this. So it was out of my comfort zone. It felt very weird to me. I thought, but I had nothing else to try. And I can remember the first few times listening to your neuro tools thinking, how is this going to change anything? But I was doing it because I had paid the money, right? So it was like, I've paid, I'm putting it in. And I can kind of remember it just kind of becoming a part of me. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was like, first it was kind of going in the head, and then it started going into my heart and into my soul. And then I started feeling it, but it took some time. It wasn't natural for me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I love your story. So a couple of things I want to back up and make sure we get. So if you're stuck, that means your team was stuck, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you had people that had elevated to a certain level and then they weren't moving either. They weren't rank advancing. They weren't growing their businesses. They weren't making more money. They were also, it was a lid on everything all the way down, correct? Yeah. And so here's what I love about the way you did this is that you did it, I would say, 100% correct. You did it the way the system was designed. The neurotraining system is designed to envelop you, right? It's designed to become who you are, right? So that you have something to lean on and borrow. You got Deb in your head, you got classes, you got coaching, you got session, you got all this stuff that you can lean on any way you need until you step into, right, the energy that you need to in order to become the person you must become in order to get where you want to go. But here's what I love about the way you did that. Now, you were in China, right? This is obviously pre-COVID, but you were in China. That's why you were calling me at 4:00 in the morning. But I loved your dedication. You know, sometimes you showed up in your slipper and your robes and you were there, right? I love that. And but then you did the next thing, which is you got your team involved. So I don't know, you at one point in time, you had how many people in the training system listening to NeuroTools and taking classes? How many people do you think?
Well, I did it two different ways. When it started kind of working, I don't maybe know the right words to describe everything, but when I started feeling better, it was almost like I just started feeling less stressed. I started feeling less angst. I started like going from this to this, like releasing a little bit. And I was like, oh. And so then I started, I got a group of my team together, probably 25 of us or so.
Yeah.
And I said, you guys, you need this, just trust me, you need this. And we started doing classes together as a team. And so that was kind of the leaders that could really, to be quite honest, could afford to be in the gold membership. But then you offer you called it the Success Center at the time. So I think I upped my membership so that, because I started to believe so fully in the shift I was having from really just struggling and doing everything. I felt like I was just pushing all the time to a little bit more just ease and flow. Not every day. It wasn't like instant, it was just getting better. The Success Center, I started putting my whole team in that.
Yeah.
And then on my team calls and on my leadership development calls, I will ask people what was their top takeaway from Deb this week. I expect everyone to do Deb. If they're seriously wanting to grow this business, then I just have an assumption that you're listening to something.
Right.
So I ask every week.
And so what I noticed is that your team, they started with like I Can Start, and then they did I Can Sell Recruit, and then they did I Can Money Mindset. And what I noticed, and then I Can Overcome.
And I Can Market Online. That was really good post-COVID.
Right.
Because we all had to get online.
And in the midst of all of this, you and your people, you're taking classes, you're using NeuroTools, you're showing up for the coaching session. So you were using the entire system. In the midst of all of that, COVID hits. And then you have to come home to the US, right? So, and you went, I don't know, you were stuck somewhere, locked up for the quarantine. And then you started over with your life, here. I mean, if anybody has faced extraordinary challenges in the last 18 months, it's really been you and your team. Your team is all over the world. So you have time zones challenges everywhere.
And a lot of people got displaced with COVID because the majority of my team was in China. We got quarantined for, we were in China quarantined about 20 days, maybe 3 weeks. And then they were closing the border to Hong Kong. And my little girl has some health issues. And I can remember saying to my husband, if they're going to shut the border, I can't get Kaylin to Hong Kong for medical. We'll go home for a couple weeks. We'll go home for a couple of weeks and then we'll, wait for this to pass. And I can remember Then we came back to Colorado, and we had to quarantine here for a couple of weeks. And then my husband got sent home. And so that started the quarantine over. So we were literally quarantined for 7 weeks straight.
Right.
Of just being stuck in the house and, in this business. And I was not building online at the time. I was very much, I'm a people person, and I wasn't meeting any people. And I can remember I remember thinking, man, I need to pour in, because I have to keep my cup full, because a lot of people in my team were stuck in hotels and Airbnbs, and they had to go to their countries, and they didn't know where they were. I mean, we all just got displaced, because then we couldn't come back to China. At one point, China canceled the visas. So I had people, and so my team was scattered, scared, displaced. And I thought, how do I fill my cup? And it was you. And I remember thinking, oh, I can be on the Monday morning calls. I'm in the right time zone. I'm awake.
So what I love about all of this is that if ever there was a team, you as an individual and your team, if ever there was a team that really needed mindset support, it's you guys. If ever there was a team that took advantage of everything in the neurotraining system, it's you guys, right? If ever there was a time when I watched a group of people fight for up-leveling their attitudes and their mindset and their emotions, that, all of those people, it's been you guys watching that. And so hearing today, and actually a couple of weeks ago, you called and said, I'm going to register for the masterclass and I'm going presidential. And I remember feeling, I had chills that day. Because I thought, oh, she is doing it. She's absolutely crossing that edge today. It's happening. I could feel it. So when you got on the call today and said it happened, I like you, it's like I had chills, and it was like, this is what this journey should feel like. This is what it's about, is someone in some of the darkest times saying, I need something. I've tried it all and I need something. I'm going to try this. That was you. But I want you to know that you are extraordinary, because so many people would quit along that journey. They would have used the displacement as an excuse to quit. They would have used the being locked up for 7 weeks in a row as an excuse to quit. They would have used, every single challenge you guys have faced, they would have used all of those things to quit, and you guys refuse to quit. And so tell me what's happened to your team, because
I have to say, Deb, I mean, there was a couple things. Like, I kept having this thought that again, I'm very responsible. So I felt a significant responsibility to help my team, right? They had all worked so hard. How could I support them? How could I help them get through this? How could I pivot, right?
Yeah.
So in that 7 weeks, I did finish my website, right? I was like, okay, what can I do that's productive? But it was all the neuro tools having to fill me up. You started doing those mindset minutes, those Monday mindset minutes. I did not miss one. It was, we were calling them Tuesday morning thoughts, Tuesday thoughts, mindset minute, Monday mindset, and Tuesday, because it was Tuesday in China. Anyway, so I did feel this responsibility to care for my team. But I had nothing pouring into me except your tools. And to know that I had those, like, I would literally listen to a neuro tool before I would have my team call, so I would be up.
Yeah.
Just I had to elevate my mindset and my mood and be on for them. But then also everything in those neuro tools were like that belief and that confidence that you can change the world if you choose to. You can do this.
Right.
And having my team listening to everything, and then we all talk about it. We all, everybody knows all the neuro tools on the team, but it was like, it became a mission for my team to be the light in the world.
Yeah.
It's like, this is on us, you guys, because we know better. Like
Right.
we have the products, we have the opportunity, we have the company, we have Deb. We're blessed, and we need to go bless others, because there are the majority of the people in the world right now are afraid
Yeah.
of the future,
Yeah.
worried,
Yeah.
anxious. And I was like, between our oils, and we have oils for emotional support, oils for immune support, and we have mindset, and we have a business opportunity. So however people are hurting, we have something that we can share with them, whether it's the oils, whether it's the business, or whether it is that uplifting of the mindset, of encouragement, of pouring out what we've learned onto others.
Yeah.
It really has become like a moral obligation for our team to go out and just help people get through this.
And I've loved watching them continue to rank advance, because what happens so many times is that a leader that's at near the top just is like, I'm going, and they kind of just drag everybody, and then you hit that rank, but you paid a dear price because everybody's overextended and exhausted. And what I've seen you and your team do, which is amazing, is that you knew they were the answer, and you went down and supported and uplifted. And it was kind of like there was this pull internally, not the push kind of energy, but it was like this inspirational pull, and they have all rank advance, which is just like, it is shocking to see so much movement at the mid and lower levels that created, your elevation to the next rank as well. It is extraordinary to see.
Well, I tell them all the time, I can't do this. We have to, so we decided as a team to link arms. Let's link arms, and let's not let anybody fall.
Yeah. Because,
week to week, somebody was having, we've had people on our team who've lost parents to COVID. We've had people, their husbands lose their jobs. I've had families that have been separated for 11 months now because the husband is still in China and the wife and kids are in the States and they can't get back. It's been hard. And so when those people start to sink, then it's the responsibility of all of us to lift them up.
It's brilliant.
And together we can. I can't lift everybody up by myself.
Yeah. You did.
And that's where I think that's a lot where the shift came in with you is I was just trying to do everything by myself. And I was exhausted.
Right.
I can remember crying. I cried a lot to you, by the way.
I know, I was on some of those
when
calls.
You work with Deb, invest in waterproof mascara.
Yeah. Let me, we're running out of time, but I want to ask a couple more questions because this is such a great interview. So, the first thought is simply this. Now, you have not yet been to Escape, but you and your team are coming, right?
Yes.
Which I'm unbelievably excited about, because you guys have done so much of the journey work. You've done a lot of work that I think your team is ripe for, scaling, really massive scaling. So that is really exciting to see that right on the heel of you guys making this huge rank advancement leap. There'll be more. So I'm excited about that. I guess what I would ask you is, what would be your advice to somebody who's sitting here wondering, is this the answer? Is ICAN Institute and the neurotools and the neurotraining, is that the answer? And is it worth the money? Could you answer those questions?
Yes, and yes is the short answers. You can do this the hard way, or you can do this the easy way. It's like you can go and enjoy and in flow and really there's a delight that comes, or you can struggle. And I will say this, when I was struggling, my health wasn't great. And here I am representing a health and wellness company, right? But I was exhausted. I was sluggish. I was not sleeping well. And I say to people on my team, if you're not doing Deb, you're not serious about growing a significant business. You could probably do lower ranks. You for sure can do lower ranks. But if you want to build an impactful, life-changing, legacy-making organization, and you want to elevate other people around you,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. I mean, I've broken through so many blocks since meeting you.
Yeah. And, I know there's so many people that are struggling financially. They're struggling. I think one of the hardest concepts in the world is understanding that an investment in your own development is, even when it's tough financially, that it is the difference maker for the long term, because if you stay where you are and you're struggling, you just keep, you're stuck in the same. So you have to find a way to elevate the future. And, my personal belief is that anytime you invest in and then you commit to, we're not just throwing money at a problem, but you invest and then you commit to elevating your understanding of mindset and your understanding of the science behind what we're doing here, and you commit to the repetition over time, and you're in it for the long haul. I mean, when you are willing to do that, you put yourself on a path of transformation.
Well, there's a couple of things. I have always struggled with spending money on myself. And so it was when I was looking at your program, and much thanks to my husband, he was like, you need to do something. And so he was supportive, and that was helpful. And then there's an element of you've invested. So you're going to do it. And there's sometimes I think, even in my business, I think I wish it cost more to get in. You'd take it more seriously.
Right.
Like people can join my team for $150, and then it's like, yeah, maybe it'll work, maybe it wouldn't. But if you bought a Subway for $500,000, you'd be showing up.
Yeah.
To get your money back, right? So it's the money that I have made because I paid what seems insignificant now. At the time, I was like, oh, so much money. Am I worth it? Is it going to work? Oh my gosh, and then now I look back and I'm like, the money I have made,
right,
because I was able to have those breakthroughs,
right,
and because I've been able to pour so much more and more effectively into my team, they've made more money.
Yeah,
it's a no-brainer.
Right.
It's a no-brainer on the ROI with working with you.
Well, I thank you so much. And I have loved every minute of you and your team. They are extraordinary individuals and have been through quite the journey. And I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of you. I feel like a proud mama today, knowing that you did it, right? You and they together, arm in arm, you did it. And so
you're definitely part of our team.
give them my love and tell them I'm proud, and cannot wait to see them whenever that happens in the future. Cannot wait to get appropriate hugs and celebrations. So
absolutely. And I got to say, Deb, you were like one of the first people that I told. I was like, I have to jump on the call this morning, and I was so waiting to raise my hand to tell you, because again, if I reflect on the journey, it shifted when I met you.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
Thank you so much. I appreciate you jumping on and sharing your journey with everybody, all of our listeners. I appreciate it so much. We'll talk to you soon, Victoria.
Thanks, Deb.
Bye-bye.